The road frames the mountain. The windshield then frames the road. The camera then frames the windshield. So you are 3 iterations away from nature, which I think is a wonderful representation of modernity's mediated relationship with nature and environment. Nature in all these films is sublime and overwhelming. And you can look for the deliberate contrast that the films make between civilization and nature. This is most deliberate in the last film, On Border Roads. The technology, the people, the machines, and even the dynamite explosions are dwarfed by the geography, but yet none of it compares to the pleasure associated with the machine and technology, which you are presented with in each instance. The drills, the earth movers, the snow blowers, and most of all, the dynamite. There is a scene in which the wick of the dynamite is lit with a cigarette, and I think that's quite a popular Hollywood trope that has been borrowed for the documentary films. Each highlights the power that modernity has meant for man over insurmountable geographies. And eventually you can see the spoils of this modernity. The films each present this in their narrative arc. The Road to Leh has a slow pan of all the essentials that are taken up, but also all the consumer products that now reach up into the mountains. The canvas shoes, the torches, pencils, books, transistors, and of course Lux soap. And the voiceover presents a paradoxical argument that modernity reaches them so that tradition can be preserved. This is such an interesting statement, that modernity is what allows for the preservation of tradition. And one could always substitute it by saying that it allows for the creation of tradition. Here again, you witness Nehru's very particular relationship between the modern and the not modern. Okay, can we have the next slide? Sorry, one more. Yeah. And so remember this image, among the consumer products, the canvas shoes are a particularly moving image because in a lot of the construction shots, you will see laborers without shoes at all. And so, you can look out for that because it is look out for the labor in general because it is markedly different in dress, shoes, construction equipment from the army engineers. They look very different in terms of the equipment they have. And the voiceover is needed to then ventriloquize this labor as productive for themselves, and for the argument that modernity is internal rather than an imposed force. And so the Indian state speaks for Panjo to say, we come on the road we made to the place we love. I particularly like this Bhutan Road film. I find it the most strange of them all because of this fictional character Panjo, who's used to give the audience, that is us, the subjectivity, the position of the not modern character, who can experience the overwhelming joy of encountering the technological sublime for the first time. The film does this through the technique of the shot and the reverse shot, where the camera frames Panjo, who's then spoken for, and then it cuts to Panjo's viewpoint. So, you have frame Panjo looks up, and then you see what Panjo's seeing, and you see the technology, you see the machines, you see the explosion. And so what is interesting about this particular filmmaking grammar is that Panjo is presented as technologically illiterate. He's the character who arrives at the construction site and sees, quote, strange instruments and absorbed people. But it is not Panjo who is alone in technological illiteracy. We are all a lay audience. We are all that character. And so in a sense, Panjo is a cipher for the audience itself that doesn't know what goes into building roads in difficult geographies. And so anyway, I would urge you to notice how this reverse shot mode is used to construct this imaginary filmic place. I mean, you don't even know if you're seeing what Panjo was actually seeing, through which the not modern encounters the machine. And right at the end of the last film, there's a shot, which is the film On Border Roads, there's a shot of a group of children from some unnamed place, Wahan ki Janta, learning Hindi. And that scene really serves to remind us that there is not only tyranny in distance, but also tyranny in proximity, even if it is of a different nature. And so I think I'll stop talking about all the films here. I guess I would just say look out for all the frames that repeat itself in the way in which this narrative is constructed. And I think we're going to have a conversation with George after, so that's